Okay, welcome to the simple puzzle walkthrough. Let's get straight on with it. If you haven't done the mock paper for any reason, this is going to be pretty pointless, so please make sure you've done the question paper before, and ideally you've already had a review of it to try and work it out where you've gone wrong. So this is really just filling in the gaps. Okay, let's do section C. Right, question 8. Got a little blanked out UML. This is a really common question type, happens most years. Can't see why it wouldn't happen this year. And we've got 3 questions on it, and it's basically state the identifiers. So A, this is I've actually nicked this just from puzzle, from the zigzag puzzle pack. So we can see that puzzle is the one that is composed of these two. So A is puzzle. Whether or not blocked cell should go straight here or there and there is a moot point, but it is actually instantiated, so that's fine. You can show it either way. Then got pattern, and as I said, we've got block cell. So hopefully you got that right. Relatively easy warm up. Right, question 9. We've got some classic state the identifiers. If you don't know your public, private, and protected in Python, you're going to lose marks and you're not going to understand OOP concepts. So rough gist, no underscore public, 1 underscore protected, 2 underscore private. The next question talks about the difference. Right, we've also got the double underscore, the 2 underscores before and after. That is for special methods, like the constructor, like the delete, like some other ones. And you'll often see the constructor quotas being private. I guess, but it's not. I wouldn't use it as an example. It's not classically it. So if we look at the code, you just got to squiz down. Right, load puzzle is private, attempt puzzle is public, get cell is private, public, private, private, public. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are our options. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give you in it this time. I wouldn't pick it in the exam. One thing to note, you'll notice these are the identifiers. If you're lazy and you copy a pasta the whole line, you definitely don't get the mark. That is the identifier. That is the identifier of this method. This whole line we call the program interface. Okay? Sometimes called the definition, but I wouldn't. Okay, what's the relationship between puzzle and pattern? Let's go back one. So we've got puzzle and pattern. So we can see there is an association between puzzle and pattern. Let's just double check whether it's aggregation or composition. Okay, so bumpy dumpy dum. What do we say? I forgot what to do now. Between puzzle and pattern. So we can see pattern being instantiated within puzzle. It's not being passed in, so therefore this is part of this. It's composed of it. We're not pulling it in from outside. We're not aggregating it. Puzzle is literally composed of pattern. So bish bash bosh. Yeah, I guess compositional association. Composition's perfect. Association could mean aggregation or composition. Let's move on to question 10. I'm doing these as a Bosch because most of the points have been made here. State some identifiers that use exception handling. So again, you've just got to go through the code. Right, at this stage what I would do is whack in a Control F, put in try, and flick. In fact, I should be able to see them all. Find all. Okay, I've got to make that bigger. Okay, and it actually shows where all of the tries are. These are all the try except statements, and you can just jump straight to them. Or of course you can just step through them like this. So attempt puzzle's got one, check match pattern's got one, and matches pattern. Let's go back to the debrief. What we're doing. So those are the ones that have got exception handling. If you don't know how these patterns work, you are stuffed, because that's odd. It's really odd. It's bound to come up in somewhere or other. I've shoved it in a couple of places here, but basically go all the way around and then in. So that's the pattern. Classic question, explain the difference between public, private and protected. At this stage it's asking you for the OOP theory, so if you say one's got no underscores, one's got 1, one's got 2, you won't get the marks. Public, accessible from anywhere in the code, as long as it has got access to that object. Protected can only be accessed code that's written within the class or within a subclass. Private can only be accessed within the class that the method is declared in. So you can only call it, you can only execute that code. Last thing, what is overriding? But ironic in Python. Overriding is where you can have, actually I've said in the mark scheme here, I'll be honest with you, I nicked these questions. A method so name in the same subclass, it could, oh yes, fair enough, I have written it right. Sorry, I was just about to say I thought I got the wrong way around there. Yeah, so basically I've got a method in a child class, a subclass, that's got the same name as the parent class. If I'm instantiating the child class, then the child class method will get executed rather than the parent class. I think I've said that all the right way around. Basically, it's a way of changing the code for a child class for the same method. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is section C done and dusted.